Our winter break is over and we return to Premier League action with a home game against Bournemouth tomorrow night live on TNT Sports as part of our midweek schedule. We've got a little bit of an opening now where if we win, we can really cement our spot in sixth, of course, with Brighton losing last night as well. So there's an opportunity here for West Ham to take over the next 2 days, 2 games, with this game against Bournemouth on Thursday, and then our away game up at Old Trafford on Sunday. I hope you all are well. Thank you very much indeed for joining us right here on our match preview for West Ham versus Bournemouth. Got two fantastic, I say beautiful then, fantastic guests joining me. Nigel, how are you, mate?
I'm very good, thanks, mate. Yourself?
Yeah, not bad. Gary, how are you?
I'm well, thanks, mate. Very good.
That's good. Of course, the final key to our puzzle, Mike failed the fitness test a little bit earlier on, so Mike unfortunately was unable to join us tonight. So get well soon, Mike. I hope to see you fighting 100% very, very soon. But I spoke to a Bournemouth fan yesterday about this, and he seemed probably conservatively confident about it. There wasn't too much confidence in there. You know, he was sort of respectful in the talent that we've got in the squad. But let's talk about Bournemouth first. Nigel, they've had a bit of a funny season, but under Iraola now they seem to be playing some decent stuff.
Yeah, they're on a bit of a roll, aren't they? Solanke's banging form again, and they always used to prove us a problem. But of late, we've done all right against them. But yeah, I mean, they're confident. But you know what? I've got to say, for once, I actually feel quite confident tomorrow because I feel not only having Calvin Phillips back, but having Kudos back. It's like we've made another signing as well. I actually do feel really good about tomorrow night, to be fair.
Oh, well, you're very rarely wrong, Nigel. So let's hope that you are right. Gary, how are you feeling going into it?
Yeah, I'm the same as Nigel. I feel strangely confident. I watched your interview with the guy, Jake, and he seemed very nervous about their lack of right backs. So I think that could be played by hand with Emerson and Kudos. Because he did mention their famous words that I hadn't thought of for a little while. Ryan Fredericks might have to play for them. So that could be something to rub our hands at tomorrow night.
Absolutely, yeah. He seems very concerned about. They've got basically no fit right back currently at the football club. So there's mentioned either a centre half or a makeshift midfielder dropping back into the right back position. But overall, I think they've been a decent unit this year. They've caused some upsets, and they've also they've taken some poundings as well. And that's what's to be expected with playing an expansive style of football. Something we know absolutely nothing about, of course. But I think in the past we discussed about how they had Gary O'Neill, and it was very similar sort of styles of play, just nodding heads. And this time, I think it might play into our hands, Nigel, because they're going to come out, they're going to try and play football and do us, and then we've got to try and do them on a counter attack. And if they're going to come out and be expansive, then that should play into our hands.
Yeah, definitely. We're a good counter attacking side, to be fair, and we've. Emerson, a lot of our stuff, if they've got a dodgy right back, a lot of our stuff, if we do decide to go forward, venture forward, with Emerson and Bowen often drifts over to that side. I think they could be right in trouble, Honestly, I really do think we've got a really good chance of beating them tomorrow.
Let's hope so. Let's see what we've got in the chat before we go any further. Evening to everyone, Mr. Terry Newsham. I hope you are well. Robert, happy birthday for the other day. I hope you had a fantastic day. Let's scroll down on some of these comments. We'll have a little bit of a chat. Lawrence, thanks for joining us. I hope you are well. Brooks off on loan to the Saints. He seemed a little bit bemused about that, Tom, yesterday. He's gone out on loan, one of their better sort of players in their squad. So that seemed a little bit of a bizarre one for him. But to me, that seems just a little bit bizarre. Fred, hope you are got any transfer updates. I ain't got a clue. No one's got a clue what's going on. So it's deadline day tomorrow. I'm going to have an extremely busy day. Just one lesson tomorrow. The transfer updates, build-up show, reaction to an actual game that we're playing tomorrow as well. So it's going to be a jam-packed day. That is for sure. Unfortunately, not going. But Sunday, Old Trafford. Gary, are you Old Traffording on Sunday?
No, I'm not going to Old Trafford. Are you going up, are you?
We are. Nigel, silly question.
Well, to be fair, Jake, I had 4 tickets and I let my mate have them because I wasn't going because it was too close to our wedding. And then, for some reason, just some guy said to me, I'm driving up and I've got a spare ticket. So I just looked at Una And she looked at me. I mean, you want to go, didn't you? So yeah, I'm going. So,
I see it there. I see
yeah.
it.
I mean, look, I just had this sneaky feeling I'll be going, regardless, whatever happens. But yeah, of course I'm going.
Peter, hope you are well. Good evening, young Jake. Young Jake, I haven't been called young Jake for a while. And the gruesome twosome.
I'm not going. I'm not going this year. Yeah, I'm not going this year, Jake, because I've been going the last few years to Arsenal and Tottenham, and we've lost every year. This year I don't go, we win. I've gone the last 3 times to Man United, we've lost, so I'm not going this year. So this year, come on.
The last time I saw West Ham score at Old Trafford was in 2019, which was 5 years ago. So I'm hoping that we're going to break the mold on Sunday, and we're going to see a convincing. I just want to see a score first. If we score first, I'll be content. I just want that. That'll do. Lawrence says Jake gave a good shout about the transfers earlier. Losing Fornals and Benrahma with no replacements is absolute lunacy. But yeah, we'll talk more about that on the transfer shows tomorrow. I haven't really set out a schedule tomorrow, but I'm expecting to do a lunchtime show. I'll dash back and do a lunchtime show, and then any other updates throughout as well. But have you noticed I've had my haircut as well? Do you like it or not?
What have you done there on the side of your head?
Where?
On the other side, do
Which side? That? Oh no,
it's
that
like you got
side.
shaved bald.
It's
Is that like...
no, it's called 0.5 actually.
It's like a punk look back in the day.
I don't know what that means.
Yes, I've got to be. I can't talk about hair, mate. I've got another 30 days before I get this cut. So I'm walking around like a yeti. Honestly, so uncomfortable.
Oh dear. Right, let's talk about West Ham then. So last time out, disappointing in the end result at Sheffield United. You were about 10 rows in front of me, Nigel. I mean, I turned around and punched the wall when they scored the penalty, which was a really unwise thing to do. But that just inward the frustration from not winning that football match, which we should have done, and putting VAR to the side. We still should have put that game to bed. And it just sort of detracts from the confidence that we have going into this one, I think.
Well, look, would you said someone come on there and say, you know, and you said yourself it's lunacy with Fornals and Benrahma, but what have they actually done? How bad have they been? And how? I mean, any player we've got at the club couldn't do any worse. Even the youngsters, whatever, couldn't do any worse than what Fornals and Benrahma have done the last couple of months. So
very
I'm
true,
not actually
very true. But it's just bodies there, that if we let them two go, we're not going to have enough players to fill a squad without going into the youth, which is a risky game to be playing.
Well, I just think that, I mean, they can't do any worse than they've been. They've been pretty much dire. When you're playing against teams like Sheffield United and you're playing badly, then what can you say? Do you know what I mean? They're not up to it. And, maybe some of the youth will be up to it. I mean, I'm willing to chance my arm, do you know what I mean? Putting some youngsters into the team, I do think it's a good idea. But, yeah, I mean, you can't get any worse than what they've been. You really can't, honestly. They've been absolutely dreadful. Much as I like both players, but they've been absolutely dreadful. And I don't think we're losing anything by letting them go.
No, it's true. True. In terms of the players that we have coming back, though, as a bit of a positive, Moyes provided an update in his press conference today, but it wasn't really much of an update. He didn't say a lot. He sort of said that Calvin Phillips he said maybe will be available, maybe won't be available. So we didn't learn anything from that. Kudus is back training, and he said Edson Alvarez is getting better. So we should expect a couple of them to be back involved. Of course, it goes without saying, Gary, the influence and importance of Kudus back in that side tomorrow.
Kudus is genuinely world class. I think really well to hang on to him for 2 seasons. I was talking to a guy yesterday who's a big Arsenal fan. He didn't know much about him, and he was raving about Declan Rice. And I think Kudus should be sold for more than Rice. I think he's a brilliant player. I honestly do. He does it. He tears it up. So if he carries on, I think it's going to be a big summer for us to hang on to him for 2 years, most, I think, but then we can sell him. But touching on Nigel's point, I think the history of West Ham, we brought 3 youngsters, and I think we should do it again. I'd like to see Earthy have a go and Orford have a go. We've had loads of youngsters. Fornals is 28 if we get good money for him. Benrahma hasn't done anything for 2 seasons, probably, apart from taking a penalty. So I think, we have got some youngsters coming through. At the end of the day, we won the Youth Cup last season. Let's give them a go. If they're not very good, one thing for certain, the fans will support them. So let's see how good they are.
Yeah, absolutely. Talking about the youth players, they've just taken the lead through Louisiana in their under-21s Premier International Cup game against Dinamo Zagreb. 1-0 up Louisiana with the open inside 5 minutes. Right, let's take some comments and see what you guys are saying. Bournemouth have improved a lot since early season. Exactly, when we played them, I think Tom yesterday, Bournemouth made the similarity where they weren't properly functioning, and then when we played Bournemouth, it's entirely our own fault. We didn't have Ward-Prowse, Kudus, and all these players,
Exactly.
involved in the game. So it's two very different sides coming up against each other tomorrow. I think it is genuinely quite a difficult game to predict. We will need permission to get some of the women's team on the bench soon. Mind you, they are playing poorly. They are. The squad numbers are a little bit light at the moment. Jake went for the Ings, but what the difference is I've still got hair on the top, and I didn't pay thousands of pounds for mine. My haircut cost 14 quid. This, I keep getting the wrong way. It's there. There we go. That and this, I'm not bold like Danny Ings is, and I didn't pay thousands of pounds for it. I mean, come on. Lawrence says, I can't follow all the haircuts of the youth. I've got hair like that, but not on purpose. Yeah, I am unfortunately admitting my fate in that sense, that I'm probably, to be fair, Terry, you're still clinging on to your hair. I mean, if I'm going to turn out like my father, it's going to be very just not there. So I'm clinging on to it for as long as possible. And so is Nigel with his beard. Nigel, you've trimmed that up, haven't you?
I've trimmed a
Yes,
couple
you
of
have. So you've broke the rules now. You've broke the rules.
My old man's got loads of hair, so do you know what I mean? I don't think I'm going to lose any. It's just the wrong colour.
Fair enough. Ings got a magical growing formula haircut. It's an absolute monstrosity. That's what it is. What's our formation going to look like tomorrow? 4-3-3 or 4-5-1? Or some more sarcastic comments? 3-6-1? 8-1-1, and Lawrence is trying to get some, reality back into this. 4-2-3-1 maybe. 10-0-0 from Peter.
Well, I'd like to see Jake tomorrow. I'd like to see Danny Ings have another go in that number 10 role, supporting the forward. I thought he was excellent at Sheffield United in that role.
Absolutely.
So it'd be good to stick him behind Bowen and let him in that role again. So play him behind Bowen. Hopefully Kudos is back as well. And then we've got a good, strong attacking force.
Very true, and of course, we've mentioned it from that Sheffield United game. Would you like to see the inclusion of Danny Ings, Zinio, and Ben John Zinio as well?
Zinio, funny enough, I was at a party Saturday night, and someone started coating off Danny Ings. Turns out Danny Ings was their cousin. Straight up, true story. Yeah. So Anyway, well, I mean, Ings did play well. Not that I'd like to see him included, but he did play well. So did Johnson. But I mean, when you look at our midfield that we're going to have and the forwards, if you think you've got Phillips, Alvarez, Ward-Prowse, Kudos, and then the likes of Paquetá and Bowen, so we've got a hell of a team, and we should be really firing on all cylinders. And we've got a great chance to kick on now, having Brighton got thumped by Luton last night. I looked at the points situation. I thought, right, we could go another 3 points clear of them. And if we beat United Saturday, then we're putting distance between us as well. And that gives us a right buffer of 6 or 7 points. We could afford to lose a couple of games after that and still stay in sixth place. So, I mean, it's looking all right. And it's looking like it's happening at the right time.
Absolutely. And, we've got I'm not going to say winnable games, but we've got manageable games as well. After that Man United game, yes, we've got Arsenal, but it's at home. And I mean, we're looking to complete the treble over Arsenal this season. So when you look at it on paper, it doesn't look too bad. Nottingham Forest, Brentford, Everton, Burnley, then follow. Then all of a sudden you're in the middle of March and you're nearing the business end of the season. Aston Villa, Newcastle, Tottenham, Wolves, etc., etc. There are manageable games left, and I think as long as we keep winning games, and as Nigel's just highlighted, Gary, if we continue to just maintain that buffer between us and the sort of the chasing pack for that sixth spot, then the longer we can continue with that, the better chance we've got.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. Looking at the fixtures, Jake, the only two I'm wary of before the end of the season is obviously City away and Newcastle away. Everything else, I think we've got a chance of, to be honest. We've been to Liverpool, we've been to Spurs, we've been to Arsenal. They've got to come to our place, and we're more than capable of beating them at our place. I think we need to announce the divorce that's happening tomorrow, Jake. I think that Moyes and Souček are getting divorced, and he's marrying Calvin Phillips. He loves Calvin Phillips more than Souček. You watch.
A couple of people have referenced this. Robert Finger says, do you want to see Phillips replacing Souček? Do you know what? I don't know. Gary seems to think it's going to happen, but I'm struggling to put myself on either side. I'm going to sit on the fence and say I don't know.
He definitely will play. Definitely.
You reckon? I'm taking your word for it.
It's a new love affair.
Listen, we've got to remember Souček is a West Ham player. Phillips is a Man City player.
He's on loan. Who's a better player, Nigel? Who's a better footballer?
Listen, I love a bit of Calvin Phillips, mate. I've always liked him. I thought he's a nice bloke. I think he's a really, really decent player. He's busy, and it's what we need in our midfield. Because Souček ain't a busy player. He's not the sort of player that can pass a ball properly. He arrives late and he scores, and he put his head in, But he ain't the footballer.
No, he's not a footballer.
Exactly. We've never had anything in the last couple of seasons in that middle that actually was like an engine that, I mean, Declan would, protect the back four, but Phillips has got a little bit more than that. He's a real busy little player, and I think that he could be the missing link for us. I just hope. I know he's going to do well for us. I just hope he decides to stay with us and that we can give him a deal and actually buy the guy, because I think he could go all the way and be a real great player for us.
I agree. I think Phillips and Alvarez will be our pivot, if you like. Ward-Prowse will move forward. I think that's what's going to happen. I think Thomas is on the bench. I predict.
I am definitely intrigued to the way that Moyes is going to structure this midfield now, and we will get a massive indication of what we're going to see for the rest of the season over the next two games against Bournemouth and Man United. I'm just not sure. I don't know. I struggle to read Moyes' mind.
Go on, Jake. Get off that fence. Make a prediction.
No, I'm not. No. The fence is comfortable currently. And then when the lineup comes out tomorrow evening, when I'm sat around my yellow tie, and you're right, Gary, I'm going to go clap you and go, well done, Gary, you got it right. But if you're not, then I'm going to go, better luck next time. See, if Phillips playing, I've got no idea. Nobody's got, only Moyes knows. I don't know. Do you ever see Alvarez playing a centre half? I think I can visualize it, but do I think it will happen? No. But I can visualize it in my mind. Yeah. But I don't think Moyes would ever, fluctuate with that, in my opinion. Potato salad is going to be left in the fridge as a leftover. Some people on Twitter, or X, whatever you want to call it, Peter, have been saying Phillips is one of the very best signings by the club when he hasn't even played for us. Yeah, there has been a bit of an overexcitement about this signing. Good player, don't get me wrong, on loan again. The Jesse Lingard situation. Let's just reel it back a little bit. Decent player, and hopefully he'll do a decent job for us. I think he will. I'm going to say this now. I've come to my decision. I think he will start tomorrow, but I don't know whether it'll be in replacement of Thomas Souček. I'm not sure. I think it will make Moyes' job really easy if Alvarez is unavailable, because then he'll just go in replacement of Alvarez. But if Alvarez does play, it leaves a headache there for David Moyes, and a headache that I don't really envy him having to make a decision on, because in taking into consideration his love for Thomas Souček. So, Nigel, let's have a prediction then. What are you thinking?
3-1, West Ham.
Confidence from both of you. I like it. Goal scorers?
Bowen, Kudos. Yeah. One of them will get 2, the other will get 1.
I'm going to make a bold prediction. It's probably a not a bold prediction, Peter. About the next 2 games. I reckon a West Ham player is going to score a hat-trick in one of our next 2 games. Now, I'm not a betting man because that's illegal, but I reckon that's going to happen. And I said yesterday on the opposition preview that we're going to win 1-0. Scrap that. 3-0 West Ham, a hat-trick from somebody, or it'll happen on Sunday. A hat-trick somewhere in a West Ham game in the next 2 games. Gary, prediction?
Yeah, I watched your thing yesterday, Jake, and the Bournemouth lad said they had 30 shots against Tottenham or something.
They did,
which was quite impressive. So I think they're probably going to score. And I must admit, I do like Solanke. I think he looks a good player. So I think he's going to give Zuma and whoever else playing, Ogbonna maybe, or maybe Mavropanos, whoever, a hard game. So I'm going to go for 5-1.
This is going to come back to bite us on the arse. This is going to come back to bite us so much when we lose tomorrow.
I've got 7-0 in the prediction league so far, Jake. So I need to.
That's what Brighton said. Brighton said that yesterday. Well, I reckon we've got 5 past Luton.
True. And they only got 5 not past themselves.
Luton were amazing, weren't they? Did you see him in the first couple of minutes? All over him. Really impressive.
Been coming for a while, though.
Well, we looked at him, that Adebayo, whatever his name is. We looked at him, didn't we?
We did.
He looks
we
really
look at everyone, though, don't we?
We
look at them, we go, no, they're crap. And then they go and tear it up.
Haaland, yeah, he's rubbish.
De Bruyne, get in the bin.
Yeah.
But no, that result's been coming for a while from Luton. They've pushed some of the big boys to no avail in some games. Liverpool, Arsenal, etc. They probably should have got something out of the game against us as well. They pushed Tottenham this season, and that result's been coming for a while. And fair play to them. If any one of those 3 sides are going to stay up at the moment, it's going to be them. They're currently out of the relegation zone as we enter February. There we go. Is it all not done down the bottom? Something that we don't have to worry about this year. Thank God for that. 2-1 says Rubber Fingers. 2-1, 3-1. So the confidence is oozing out of the fan base. David G. Hammer, thanks for joining us. Peter, unfortunately, says draw or defeat. Can't see us winning. I've got a challenge for you, Peter. I've got a challenge for you. I want you on the preview for Manchester United on Friday night to predict the win, because I believe you believe we're going to beat Man United on Sunday. So I want to see that on Friday. I want to see it. James Ward-Prowse will finally have his free kick goal. I said this yesterday. He hasn't scored a free kick goal in a West Ham shirt yet. Could tomorrow be the occasion?
To be fair, Jake, he hasn't had that many attempts, really, has he? He doesn't get many.
No. He hasn't had a perfect position, has he? Or maybe he should do what Ivan Toney does, and just move the ball out where he wants and just take it from where he wants.
You know what to do? Is make me put my phone down. Because the guy who sits next to me, every time we get a free kick, I'll try and video it. And he said, if you didn't video it, it'd score.
Probably.
Fair enough. But do you know what? I said he'll score Thursday, but as soon as I said that, an image came into my mind of that Payet free kick at Old Trafford in the FA Cup where it just went off the post. And I can just see that down that end where we are, for him to just get it over the wall and for it to just hit the underside of the bar and go in, and him to come over to that away end and fake the goal thing and just go like that.
Honestly, though, Jake, if Payet had many seasons in the Premier League as Ward-Prowse, he'd have scored more free kick goals than Ward-Prowse.
Absolutely.
Payet was a genius with free kick.
I was gutted when he left, mate. What a
player. He was a genius. That one against Crystal Palace at home was fantastic.
I was behind the goal when that went in.
Yeah.
And it...
Brilliant. Exactly.
Just to the... Like, not behind the goal. It was just in... I saw it from where I was. I could see it. Cool. I was like, my God.
And that one at Man United.
In Palace end, he said he couldn't believe it went in.
Yeah. One of Man United, the commentator said he can't shoot from here, can he? Bang, straight in the top.
Bang, straight in, exactly. Brilliant.
Have one of them.
2-0 to West Ham, says Terry. 2-1 says Fremer. 2-1 says William. Another 2-1 there. 5-1. That will be the MC score today. Be a shock if we got anything at Old Trafford. Here he goes. More chance of pigs flying than getting anything at Old Trafford with our record. Believe, Peter. Believe.
Yeah.
We was just 1-0 a little while ago. We went a couple of seasons ago. 1-0, didn't we, in the cup?
In the cup, yeah.
In the cup, yeah.
Do you know what? We've been unlucky there, mate. I think both
at
Anfield. Sometimes I've seen us play at Anfield quite a few times over the past few seasons. We haven't done bad apart from that real whooping.
Yeah.
And we've had a good chance. I mean, I can't remember if it's the last game I went to or the game before when Rashford scored in the last minute.
Yeah, okay, two
times
seasons ago. That was
2 seasons ago.
There was one where Yarmolenko missed he missed a sitter.
And then last season, Rice missed that. Had that shot and that effort saved outside the box. He curled it. And I was like, "This is perfect."
Oh, that save! Yeah, it was a brilliant save.
The last 20 minutes last season was one-way traffic, wasn't it? We just couldn't score.
It was. We were battering them, weren't we? And we just couldn't find the back of the net. We've had successive 1-0 defeats at Old Trafford in the league in the last 2 seasons. It's going to change this time. It's going to change. There we go. Right. I'm going to wrap things up there. Thank you very much indeed, everybody, for watching our match preview. It's deadline day tomorrow. Always a busy day for me. So hit the notification bell to be notified whenever we put up transfer updates. I've got a feeling tomorrow is going to be extremely busy, especially if we let go one of Benrahma or Fornals. Rumours are going to be flying all over the place, and hopefully we can get something over the line to bolster our squad ahead of the second part of the season. And then our attention will turn to the London Stadium. Gary, you going?
Yeah, I'll be there.
Gary will be there. Nigel will be there, of course. I'll be sat in the comfort of my living room, and then I'll do a reaction after the game. So basically, lots of content tomorrow. You'll be sick of me by 11 o'clock tomorrow night when that deadline slams shut. And yeah, so I look forward to it. A good night's sleep ahead of a busy day tomorrow. Nigel, thank you very much indeed for joining me.
Thank you, mate.
Gary, thank you very much. Gary, before we go, I watched Saltburn Sunday night. That was interesting.
What did you think?
I don't think I'll ever be able to listen to Murder on the Dance Floor again in the same frame of mind. Do you know what? I started basically Sunday. I watched the end of the cricket. I watched like 3 FA Cup games, and 7 o'clock I got myself down. I thought, right, upstairs, right, I'm going to watch it, and it was just like bizarre is the only word to describe it.
Did you enjoy it though? Did you enjoy it?
Well, it was interesting. I don't know.
Jake's been up the graveyard every night since.
Jesus Christ.
And you wait for your parents to go out and do the dance at the end, don't you?
No, what, around this house? Honestly.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Bit of bath slurping.
Just all these moments. I mean, there was the bath moment, there was the graveyard, there was the ending. I mean, it was just all 3 of them, and there was other moments as well. And yeah,
there was a couple of other bad moments that we can't really mention.
Yeah, it's watching Saltburn as good as watching Milkburn. Oh dear. But yeah, well, I'm quite glad I watched it on my own and we didn't watch it as a family, because that would have been quite embarrassing.
Yeah.
Right. It used to be like when you was a youngster and you used to watch the Carry On films, Gary. Do you remember?
Yeah.
And your mum and dad were sitting there and you'd be looking at it like that, and then you'd be thinking, are they watching me? Do they know I'm doing this?
Oh dear. Right. So we're going to win tomorrow. I've got no idea what the score is going to be. Gary reckons Phillips is going to start. I am not too sure, but I just about think he'll start. Nigel's trimmed his beard, so he's broken the rules. And that's about it. Anything else?
No. Come on, your eyes.
I'm thinking that he might. Moyes is just that person, isn't he? He'll start Phillips on the bench and bring him on at 60 minutes or something. That's just him all over, isn't it?
Yeah.
But you know, I'm hopeful that old Calvin gets a start, to be fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very true. Very true. Thanks to everybody for participating in the chat as well. And we will see you tomorrow. Until then, come on, you irons, and we will see you soon. Cheers all. Bye-bye.
Cheers. See you later.